Hello there, and welcome back. Today, I've got something really special for you. It's my grandmother's Snickerdoodle recipe that took me quite a long time to acquire, but I'm going to share it with you. Let's get to it. And to make things just a little bit easier, here's the ingredients. To start off, all we're going to need is a fairly large mixing bowl and a rubber spatchy boy. I've let my butter sit out overnight to let it get a little bit soft, which is going to help in the next step. All we're going to do is take our butter, add it to the bowl, and then add our sugar to it and try and combine all that equally before we move on to the next steps. Butter number 1, butter number 2. I'm just going to go ahead and add my sugar to it and then try and use my rubber spatchy boy to combine all the sugar with the butter. This is going to take a little bit, so be patient. It's no big deal. Might make a little bit of a mess, that's fine too. Just give it a nice little mix in until all the sugar is fairly well incorporated with the butter. You could absolutely use a KitchenAid for this. I've got one. I just want to show you that it is possible without a $900 piece of equipment. I do love that KitchenAid though. So you can see now the sugar and the butter are pretty well incorporated. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my eggs and the cream of tartar, the baking soda, the salt, and the vanilla pudding mix. Some cream of tartar, or tartar, I don't know, however you want to say it. Some baking soda, a little bit of salt. I'm just using the French vanilla jello mix. You could make this without the jello mix, but it'd cost you like $20 in other ingredients, and you'd have to figure out the ratio and make your own pudding mix from scratch. Just do yourself the favor and spend the $1.50 on the jello mix. Now I'm just going to incorporate all that together. This is going to be the part where we might get a little messy. I've got my flour, and I'm going to slowly add it to my cookie dough. But as I'm doing that, at some point, our rubber spatchy boy probably isn't going to cut it, and we're going to have to use our hands. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and start combining. And remember, when you go to measure flour, don't ever scoop it out of the bag and consider that a measurement, because it's going to compact the flour and you're going to end up with more than you need. So take it out with a spoon or something like that and then measure it in another container. Thank me later. I'm about halfway through my flour, and the spatchy boy is not really cutting it. It's time to move on to my hands. Remember, the more love you add to your food, the better it's going to taste. I'm pretty sure that's science. And the rest of my flour. Go ahead and scrape these walls and make sure we don't waste anything. And everybody gets to hang out with their friends. One of these days, I'll invest in some clear mixing bowls so y'all can actually see what I'm doing. The dough is tacky, but it's not trying to stick to my hands too bad, so I know it's about ready. And I feel like it should go without saying, but this has raw egg in it. Maybe don't try it. Just wait for them to be done. Just don't risk it. Now we need to make them even more delicious. So we're going to make a brown sugar cinnamon mixture and coat the cookies with it. Got some dark brown sugar. I've got some regular sugar. And I've got my cinnamon. I've got my brown sugar on another tray so I can roll my cookies in it and give them a nice coating. And then a sheet tray with some parchment paper ready to go to put my cookies on. All we're going to do now is take decent sized little cookie pieces and you put them in the palm of your hand and just rotate your hands back and forth. And you can get a nice little ball. Now we're going to coat that completely in our brown sugar cinnamon mix. Set them on the sheet tray. And we're just going to do that over and over and over until they're done. If you want these to be uniformly sized, just get a kitchen scale and weigh them. Find a size you like and give them a little weigh. Mine are about golf ball size, I guess, if I had to explain it. I really hope my grandma doesn't get mad that I'm sharing this recipe. These don't have to be perfect. Sometimes the imperfections in the cookie really show that it was made with love, and that's what makes them perfect. So don't worry yourself too much, just enjoy the process. Make yourself some tasty cookies. I probably should also tell you, if you like crispy Snickerdoodles, this is not going to be the recipe for you. These are going to be super gooey and soft in the middle, and they're going to stay soft for quite a few days as long as you store them right. And that's the way I like a Snickerdoodle. At some point in this process, go ahead and set your oven to 400 degrees. Cookie nostalgia. I've got my cookies pretty well dispersed on the sheet tray. I'm using a large sheet tray, if I didn't already say that. All we want to do is pop them in the oven at 400 for about 8 to 10 minutes. What we're looking for is for them to kind of flatten out, and then when they're done, the tops are going to crack just a little bit, and that's how you know they're done. I also saved the rest of that brown sugar cinnamon mixture because I'm going to do 2 or 3 more batches of these. So if you aren't going to do a bunch more batches, I don't know that I would use the brown sugar cinnamon for anything else because this is raw egg in it, it's rolled around in it. Do whatever you want to do, just be safe please. And away we go. And we're back. We've got little cracks over the top, which is exactly what we're looking for. As soon as it does that, pull it out of the oven, let them sit here for like 15 or 20 minutes, and you're good to go. I don't know how long this cookie recipe has been around, but for as long as I can remember, my grandma's been making these for every event that we ever went to, and everyone loves them. So I can assure you they've been tested over many years, over many events, over thousands, if not tens of thousands of people. You gotta give them a try. And here we are. They're all done. They're ready to eat. They're super soft, which is perfect. With all the butter that's in there, it probably goes without saying, if it's bad for the heart, it's good for the soul. And a huge thanks to my grandma for being such an inspiration and such a great cook. I'll see y'all in the next one.